What's up, and welcome back to Opposites Track Podcast. This is Sonja Ramirez, your girl, and I'm sitting next to
Miguel Ramirez.
What's up, everybody? How is your day?
How's your week?
How is your life? We got some good stuff to talk about today.
Maybe.
Interesting, funny stuff, because I have a lot of funny stuff.
Do you? Oh, man. You're going to be talking shit, aren't you?
No, I'm not going to be talking shit. So I've been looking for a workout partner for quite some time. Like someone, that I can help motivate, and someone that can
motivate you.
To motivate me. And so usually when I do work out, I'm the trainer. Like I'm helping other people with their form. I'm helping to motivate them, to push them. And usually they're the ones complaining. And so we have a neighbor. She loves to run. So she's always running. It's torture for me. It is. Yeah. Remember when I was running for you? It's not something that I love. Working out, weight training, strength training, all of that, I'm for it. Jump roping, I'm for it. I love it. I enjoy it. So anyways, gyms are closed. Her and I, we're going to the same gym, but our schedule's totally different.
Yeah.
I'm an entrepreneur, so my schedule's everywhere. I like to get up early. She's like, wait, what time do you want to work out? I'm like 5. We could do 6. And she looks at me like I'm crazy. And she's a nurse, so she works crazy hours.
Yeah.
And we just made a decision yesterday. Was it yesterday?
Yeah. Yesterday.
She came over, we were talking, and she's like, hey, I still have to work out today. And I'm like, hey, well, I'm going to work out with you. And she's like, okay. So I go over there, and she's like, I'm going to kick, what did she say? I'm going to kick her butt, or I'm going to leave her hurting or something like that.
So she said that she had found this workout from Patrick Mahomes' girlfriend.
Yes.
You don't know who Patrick Mahomes is?
I don't. She had to show me. I didn't know.
The quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs.
She told me, and I'm like,
that just won the Super Bowl. They just won the Super Bowl in February.
Yeah.
So it's his girlfriend's workout.
Yeah. So she, found these workouts, and she's not one. She prefers to run, but hey, she's like, I got to do something. She's getting married. And so in Hawaii, that's going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And so she's, trying to keep herself straight. And so we worked out.
I don't know yesterday. How much help we're going to be.
And it was so good. It was so good. It was very intense. It was very challenging. But we were pushing each other, and I liked that.
That's good.
I'm never the one that's receiving, though. The push. I'm the one. Shut up, babe. I'm the one that's normally pushing the other person. So yesterday she was helping me, and it felt good to be on the other side. And
to be getting pushed?
Yeah, to be getting motivated,
That's good.
Anyways, this workout was killer. Absolutely. I started to feel it yesterday evening.
Yeah.
And usually I don't get sore until the third day, but yesterday evening I was totally feeling this. And today we made a decision that, okay, she's like, well, you know what? I'll go ahead and I'll wake up at, 6 o'clock on Monday. She's like, you come over on Sunday and we can work out at 9, and I'll make myself get up, because I told her I can work out at 6.
Yeah.
And so she did not think I was going to make it today. She didn't, because she knew that I would be like totally sore.
Hurting. Yeah.
But I made it.
That's one thing. Like you have been, whenever you get back into the gym.
Yeah.
You go right back to what you were doing before you ever left the gym. And I always tell you, like, take it easy. Don't go too hard, because you're not going to be able to go upstairs. You're going to be hurting. Mm-hmm. But regardless of how you feel, once you decide that you're going to start, like, you could be in all kinds of pain and be like, well, I'm off to the gym the next day.
Yes. Yes.
So,
and it hurts so good. So anyways, I took my hurting ass over to her house this morning, and, we had a really good workout.
What'd you guys do?
We do everything from squats to leg lunges. Okay. It's cardio, and then it's strength training.
Is it like
we're
body
doing
weight
push-ups,
training?
we're doing mountain climbers, we're doing burpees, we're doing straight up push-ups.
Good.
I mean, we're doing it. And when it comes to working out, I am competitive. If I'm working out with somebody and she's in shape, and usually I'm the one in shape, but she's the one in shape. So when I see her doing it, it's like, if she could do it, I can do it. Like, I'm competitive when it comes to that manner. And I just recognize that, because I always tell you I'm not really competitive, but it is.
Yeah.
But I am. So I told her, just wait till, all this.
Wait till you get into it.
Wait till I'm healed and wait till I'm not, sore and, it's going to be on.
You know what? Maybe if you run more, then you might start enjoying running. Because, like I hated running.
Yeah.
I never enjoyed running. But it did take a while.
Well,
it takes a while because it is,
yeah.
even though it may not feel the best,
Uh-huh.
I mean, once you start running longer distances, it feels kind of good. Like it's an accomplishment because people don't do that.
Yeah.
Like people don't run 10 miles. People don't run 12 miles or 15 miles like
Right.
the average person.
Yeah.
So you kind of, it's like, yeah, it's kind of cool.
Well, it's funny because that's what she's like, hey, when it gets cooler, we're going to start running. And I look at her and I'm like, shit.
The only thing is that maybe biking would be way better because running is not really good for your knees. It's good mentally because it's hard and you want to quit and you keep pushing.
Yeah.
But as far as like for your body, like I've heard running is not really good for your knees and all that shit.
Yeah. So I'm on the floor.
What are you laughing at?
Because it's funny. I'm on the floor and we're doing planks.
Oh.
And I'm sore, you guys. Like I'm like pushing myself, but I'm sore and my legs feel heavy because I'm sore. So I'm doing this plank and Audrey's in there watching us. And when I start to feel a lot of pain, I start to feel uncomfortable. I close my eyes, right? Like I need silence. Like I'm just closing my eyes. And all of a sudden I feel fur in my face and Audrey's laughing and she's like, Mom, the cat just put its butt in your face. And when I opened my eyes, I saw the cat and his balls were in my face. I got teabagged from a cat. But wait. I'm sweating.
That's even worse.
And this cat has a lot of hair. So when the cat comes to my face and rubs its butt on my face, I have cat fur because my face is full of sweat. And then,
that's horrible.
And then we get done with the workout and I'm stretching because I love to stretch. I feel that it's very important to stretch, especially when you're getting up there in age. You want to be flexible. A lot of the injuries that happen when you get older, you hear it's because of lack of just flexibility.
Well, that and people thinking that they're younger than they actually are. Like, I used to do this shit all.
Yeah.
And you go
that's
and
gonna be me.
Run an out route when you're playing football and you're like, bam, something snaps.
That's gonna be me.
That's gonna be me too. Yeah.
She's like, and so I'm over here stretching and she's like, wow. She's like, you're a good stretcher. And when she said that, I don't know why I thought about, because it has really no connection. Yeah. But do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
What?
The movie Superbad?
Yes. What part?
So there's a part in the movie, it's right in the beginning when one of the boys is talking about the girl that this other boy likes. And he's like, she looks like a good fucker. And he's like, would you stop talking about her like that? He's like, what do you mean? He's like, I'm not saying anything bad.
Yeah.
I'm just saying she looks like a good fucker. Yeah. She's like, dude, if somebody was complimenting me on my dick giving abilities, I'd be super psyched.
Yes.
But
I don't know why I thought of that. But she's like, wow, you are a good stretcher. And that's the first thing that popped. And I'm just smiling, shaking my head. I didn't tell her what I was thinking, but it was just funny. It just popped up. I'm like, yeah. So anyways, I feel really good. I already feel strong. Like I feel.
Day 2?
I feel good. Day 2.
Nice.
Day 2.
Yeah, I saw a workout that I think I'm going to start doing it. It's pretty much, it's just pull-ups. It's pretty much pull-ups, but I saw it was like in a jiu-jitsu article or website or something, but they take a gi, which is the top that you wear or the uniform that you wear in jiu-jitsu. It's like a karate uniform or whatever, but it's thicker because we're always grabbing, and if you have like a regular flimsy one, you'll rip them. So these are thicker. So you hang the jacket over the pull-up bar and you just kind of grip the pull-up bar and do pull-ups off of the fabric.
I think that's
which would
so
be good
hot.
for your grip.
Like when I go to the gym and I see like a female doing push-ups.
Push-ups or pull-ups?
Pull-ups. Because you don't see a lot of females doing pull-ups. That's something I would like to do. That shit's harder than... I can't even do one.
You know how you get better at doing pull-ups?
Doing pull-ups, but how do you do them if you can't do them?
So if you can't do pull-ups, what you can do is negatives. Negatives will help with pull-ups. So you get a chair For those of you that don't know what a negative is, you grab a chair and you put it in front of the pull-up bar and you just stand up on the chair and grab onto the pull-up bar and you just kind of jump and hold yourself up. And that's it. Just
like on top of the bar?
Yeah, like you're at the top of a pull-up. Like your chin is over the bar and you're holding yourself there.
Oh my God, that would hurt.
Yeah.
So my chin is over the bar and I'm hanging?
You're not holding yourself up with your chin. That doesn't help.
Well, with your hands.
You're holding yourself up with your muscles, with your arms, with your back. You know, you're doing a pull-up. But instead of going down and coming back up, you're just staying up.
Oh.
So you stay there as long as you can until you can't hold yourself, and you're going to start slowly going down to the bottom. And then once you get down to the bottom, jump back up to the top and hold it, and you're going to come down a lot faster. And you do that a bunch of times, and then little by little because if you can't do one pull-up,
right,
that's how you'll get strong enough to be able to do one, and then you can do one and then do negatives.
Because what it is, it's holding your entire body weight up.
Yeah, that's a different exercise for a different part of your body.
Yeah. Well, because you need upper body strength in order to.
The planks is your core, your stomach.
Yeah.
Your love handles, all that.
So upper body strength, though, will also help you do a push-up, just continuing to get stronger. Right?
Push-up. Yep.
Yeah, a pull-up, I'm saying.
Upper body strength? Yeah.
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 That would be cool, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe when, you're up there.
I'll show you.
Okay. Yay!
So, yeah, speaking of doing shit that we need to do, last week or last podcast, because this is coming out on Wednesday. We're recording this on Sunday night or Sunday afternoon, and this one will come out on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. So, or as you're listening to it, it's come out on Wednesday. But last podcast we were talking about, like just the procrastination and getting things done. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And like the stuff for the podcast. And I've been talking to you about it, like the ebook and some of the other things that we got to do. And more than anything, it's the ebook, because the ebook is holding up other things,
everything else,
other things that we want to get done. And, just talking about it, and because what it was last week, what it was is you get fired up again.
Oh,
right.
Yes. Yeah.
Because initially the thought of making the ebook got me all fired up. I was like, you know what? I got a fucking idea, and this is going to make a difference. This is going to fucking blow it up. I'm going to write an ebook.
Yeah.
Well, but then like 3 or 4 days later, I'm not as excited to write the ebook then as I was when I first thought about writing the ebook. And now when it's time to write the ebook, I'd rather watch something else on YouTube or do some other bullshit, right?
Right.
But when the shit is important, you can't just get motivated, get excited.
No. Yeah.
You got to make a plan to actually get it done. So this is it's crazy how time flies, because it was the beginning of July. It was the very beginning. I mean, I think it was like maybe 5 days into, it was 4th of July weekend, that I was kind of thinking, I was like, July is the month where I'm going to get the fucking book done. Like, no excuses. I'm going to fucking buckle down and I'm going to get it done. But that's all it was. It was a fucking thought.
Right.
And I thought about it the month before too. But what happened is that I caught it in the beginning of July. Mm-hmm. So I was like, this is the month, because I have plenty of time left in this month.
Right.
So I thought about it, and that was about it. And then
it was a wish.
Yeah, no, exactly. And then we recorded the last podcast, and I was thinking about it again. I was like, man, I've been fucking bullshitting. And now, so this morning, I was like, I got to be up for work at 6. Mm-hmm. And we always talk about making time for the things that are important that you want to do. And I was like, fuck. Mm-hmm. All right. So I'm going to set my alarm for 5 during the week. And I'm just going to get up an hour early, and I'm just going to sit in front of the computer and fucking just think. Even if I don't type out a word, I'm going to sit in front of the computer and I'm going to think for an hour and type out maybe an idea or maybe something. And then maybe the next day, that ideal, it'll come out better in my head, and I'll figure out how I can type that idea out. But if I don't actually sit down and start thinking and just make the time, the book is never, and this is the thing, is that I was thinking this in the beginning of July. Today is July 12th. For me to fucking right now be putting in an alarm in my phone, half the fucking month's already gone.
Yeah.
I thought about this in the beginning of the month, and I bullshitted till the middle of the month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the reason why I'm laughing is because, like, I've talked to you about this, specifically this, about making a list of things that you need to do to prioritize. And I told you I made a list. And, you know, like I made the kids' doctor's appointment. I made my appointment. You were talking about that last week. Dogs. Both dogs already went into surgery, came out.
Oh, my God.
On top of all the work that I was doing, but it's because I made a list. And I talked to you about it, and I guess you didn't hear me. And it happens all the time with you and I. I mean, it's the same thing. You know, you tell me something, and then I hear it from somebody else. I'm like, oh, hey, that's a good idea. And you're looking at me like, hey, didn't I just tell you that? Oh, you did.
Yeah, that happens all the time.
You know, but what do I know, right? Okay.
Yeah. No, it's true.
No, that's cool. Yeah.
That and the other things, making more videos, stuff like that. But I mean, that just goes for anything. Like having that thought is great. But you know what? Right now, what I'm thinking about is when I got to get in the mode of when I have a thought like that, not just to leave it as a thought, to like, all right, plan something now. Now that you're excited, make a plan to 3 times a week, I'm going to do this. You know?
Yeah.
Once a week, I'm going to do this.
Yep. But
you know,
to
make sure that I get that done.
Schedule. Because you have to add it in.
Yeah, because if it's just like, oh, you know what? This is a good idea.
Right.
Okay, great.
It's a good idea.
And that's it. And that's a good idea. And then it's over.
Yeah, like, you know, even in the evenings, like, because we're always thinking about, okay, what are we going to talk about next on the podcast? What are we going to talk about next? So a lot of times, you know, throughout our day, we're taking notes on certain things that happen to us that we want to share, things that we've heard, things that we've learned, stuff like that. And so it was really late. So we were upstairs, and Miguel, you know, we had our phones next to us, but I looked at Miguel and I'm like, dude, you know, where did you get that bruise on your arm from? Where is it at?
For those of you watching on YouTube, I got a little one here that I saw first.
And then he has a huge.
And then I got another. Yeah. It's about what?
Whatever, they can watch it.
It's a 2-inch bruise.
A 2-inch bruise.
Circle.
And I see it and I'm like, dude, where'd you get that bruise from? And what did you say?
All right.
No, say it the way you said it.
Fucking jits.
No. Oh my God. And I'm like, wait, what did you just say? It was funny as shit. At least it is just, I've never heard you. That was just so
fucking
feminine.
Cheesy.
No, yeah.
No, it's not. It's not that it's feminine. It's just so fucking dorky and cheesy. It's not
something that you would say. No, when you said
it's not. And the way I said it, because I was saying it as a joke. I was saying yeah, that's why I said it like that.
Okay, so anyway, it made me laugh. And I'm like, dude, where's your phone? Where's your phone? I'm going to tell everybody about this.
It was one of those things, like I'm holding on my arm and I was like, oh, I got this little bruise right here. And Sonja's like, oh, you got a big ass bruise right there. Where'd you get that bruise? Fucking jits.
Oh my. You know who would say something like that?
Who?
What was your oh my God.
Who are you pointing
We
at?
just went to his Blake. Blake would say something like that.
Yeah, probably.
You know, like the way you said it.
Yeah, with his personality. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I said it.
Okay.
I said it because I thought it would be cheesy. Yeah, it was funny.
I don't know about that. It sounded pretty natural to me when it came out.
So speaking of working out, and what goes with working out is eating, right?
Yes.
And you know what? This is something that's important. There's one of the guys at the jiu-jitsu gym where we train that he always says, you can't outwork your diet.
Yeah.
And it's
write that
just
down, everybody.
Truth.
You can't outwork your diet.
Like, you could work out every minute of every day, like while you're awake.
Mm-hmm.
But if you eat like shit the whole day, and all the time,
calories in, calories out,
you're still going to be out of shape. You're still going to be overweight. You know,
you're not
so
be
no matter what,
that's
you're still
what it is.
Yeah, you're still going to have to. You still have to eat right. For the, you know, for a good portion. I mean, it doesn't have to be 100%. Nobody does it 100%, but you just can't outwork your diet.
Right.
You know, so that was cool. But one thing that I was thinking about, you know, the last podcast you were talking about, like, what is it that I say? What do I say about us when we're eating junk?
You called us. It's when you were trying to put up your pants. You called us.
That's
you called us a fat. You said we are
fat fucks.
Fat fucks. I'm like, it was funny. It was funny because most men would not with their wife in the room say we are a bunch of fat fucks. You know what I'm saying?
I was
you
talking,
said it,
dude. I was talking about our whole family.
But
I'm talking
what
about
do you mean
in our house, just the way we've been eating.
Our son
Dude,
and daughter.
he puts ketchup on everything. He's eating corn dogs and shit.
He likes ketchup,
Anyway.
but he's not. Anyway, so when Miguel said it, I thought it was funny because you felt so comfortable to just blurt it out. But it's too, I don't think I have an issue. Like, I feel good, even though like I'm heavier right now, like I don't feel too bad. I know that I need to pick this up or else it is going to get bad. Like I have to get back in shape. But when you said that, I'm like, this motherfucker feels very comfortable calling me a fat ass, because most men would not say that, because their woman would pick up whatever's around them and throw it at them.
Well, this is the thing, is that you're not, like, if you said it about, like, I'm not going to get butthurt. I know what the fuck it is. I live in the house.
Yeah.
This is what reality is.
But that, and it was true. I mean? When you said it too, I'm like, well, it's not like, I didn't take it.
Yeah.
I didn't get offended, because I feel that, I am. So
it's what we're doing right now.
It is what it is.
This is our phase in our life. But I was thinking about it, and I figured out, like, exactly how I do it. Because really all it is it's me. And it's me fucking up and getting a bunch of bullshit to eat. But then I just pass the blame on to everybody in the house. Kind of like, it was the other day I don't know, I just felt like eating a bowl of cereal. I was like, fuck it, let's get a bowl.
Yeah.
And whenever I'm getting something, I'll ask you, like, hey, you want some?
Yeah.
And you're like, sure, let's get a bowl. So I'm looking for a bowl to put cereal in.
Yeah.
So I find a couple bowls and I pull them out.
Good sized bowls.
And there's some that are smaller than others.
Yeah.
And Sonia's like, we should use this bowl right here. And it's like
a smaller bowl.
It may not be the smallest one. It might be the medium-sized bowl. And I'm looking at the medium-sized bowl and I'm like, I don't think that's going to be enough.
That's what he said.
So anyway, like, I stop asking you questions and I just go for the big bowl and I fucking fill it up. And then once the big bowl is full of cereal and it's fucking overflowing and it's got milk in it and shit, and I'm looking at this bowl and now I'm looking at us and I'm like, we're some fat fucks. And I'm the one that picked the fucking bowl. I'm just roping you guys into this bullshit. So that's kind of like the other day I kind of noticed. I was like, it's not them. I was like, it's me fucking putting this shit on them.
Because this is the thing.
It's like, hey, you want a snack? I'd be like, no, I want a fucking buffet.
This is the thing. When I am working out, and I'm working out like a hard workout, and it's just busting, it's kicking my ass, I don't want to eat bad because I did a lot of work. Yeah. Like, we went for a run one time. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
And this one at night wanted to eat bad, and I'm like, I'm not doing it because of that run, right? Because I was like, it was a difficult run for me.
And then I'm like, hey, we fucking ran today.
Yeah.
We don't usually run.
And did I give in? I think I did give in. See,
I'm very good. I'm a trickster. But no, yeah. I'm like,
we ran today. You did. You jerk.
I know. Hey, babe, listen to this. For you guys out there, listen to this fucking mind fuck that I did. So we were talking about, you're like, I'm not eating because we ran today. And that's like, that undoes what we did.
And that was painful for me.
And I told Sonia, I'm like, listen, we eat like shit every day and we never run. I was like, today we ran. So it's actually fucking not that big of a deal because we actually did something today. And you're like, okay, fuck it. Let's go. Right? That's exactly what it was.
Oh my God.
It's so bad. We're a fucking disaster.
You're a disaster.
Yeah.
Don't be putting me in
I'm dragging you
stuff
down with me.
I'm like, hey, I lost 4 pounds. Remember?
Let's go get some ice cream.
That was on the other, I don't know which podcast, but I had lost 4 pounds. I don't know where I'm at right now because I haven't weighed myself since then, because I thought that, we were, we had an agreement, but we have to both be a solid yes. We both have to be, okay, no bullshit kind of deal.
Yes.
Because Miguel and I are very strong-minded when it comes to living a debt-free life, our finances, our kids as well, right? Like all of that. We are weaker than shit when it comes to food. Like, we just are. Like, we are.
This is the thing. It's not just that. It's everything. It's everything. It's finances. It's
Yeah, but we have more discipline in that
but
area.
It's the food that we eat, working out, all that stuff. The thing is that we haven't really made a decision yet that we're getting on it.
Oh, when it comes to eating and
when it
health,
comes to eating and working out and anything. Like even
Anything.
with finances, like we've had times where the finances will get out of hand a little bit and the credit card starts racking it up and we can't pay it off in one shot. And it's like, fuck, now we got to save.
Well, that hasn't been for a while.
It's been a long time, but we've had it happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the thing is that when we do finally make that decision and we're like, all right,
yeah, it's
enough's enough. No more bullshit. This credit card is at like $5,000 or whatever, and we need to fucking knock it out. All right, now we're gonna buckle down and we're gonna pay this thing off.
Yep.
Or no more eating bullshit. Or maybe once a week we'll have a treat and we're gonna start working out and hitting it hard. We just haven't really made that decision lately.
Because we realize,
or we do and go back.
So check this out, everybody. Okay, so we have one TV in the house, and what year was it when we bought this TV? It's a flat screen, but it's one of the older ones.
Yeah, it's probably like.
But it took us a long time to get rid of our big tube TV. Okay, we have a toaster. Then it probably needs to be replaced. Like we have some things that it still works.
Yeah.
Right. And we hold off on that. So it's not like we spend a lot of money on shit that we don't need. But when it comes to food,
there is no
our
expense
grocery.
Spared.
Hey,
there is no expense spared for the food.
It's because Miguel says this is stuff we're gonna eat.
Yeah,
that's what you say. Like this is stuff we need. This is stuff that we're gonna eat. Yeah. But our bill expense, for food,
it's no joke.
Yeah.
We need some food sponsors on this show.
So if you would like to be our first food sponsor.
Oh man, could you imagine if we had like a Mexican food sponsor? They can go to oppositesattractpod.com and see all of our...
we ain't doing that. Negative. Nope. Because we will be, within months, like 300 pounds.
Yeah. But you can also support the show by going to oppositesattractpodcast.com. You'll see the support the show tab at the top. If you click on that, it'll take you to our Amazon link. Anything that you purchase through Amazon, it won't cost you anything extra, but it'll also help out the show. We'll get a couple pennies every time you buy something. And you'll also see a link to Trust Inc. there. And Trust Inc. is?
We are a nationwide mobile notary agency. We do a lot of work with title companies, law firms, and individuals as well. So if you are about to purchase a home or refi, give us a call. Hit us up. You can request Trust Inc. to help
for
you with your loan closing.
That'd be weird. But yeah, and you can also go to oppositesattractpodcast.com and you can share the information with those that you know. You can watch the show there on YouTube. You can also listen to it, and you can follow us on all of our social media at Opposite Pod, or you can just search Opposites Attract Podcast. We're also affiliates with Libsyn, which is where we host our podcast. And a lot of the world's biggest podcasts are hosted on Libsyn. If you're thinking about starting a podcast and you would like to give Libsyn a try, you can use promo code OAP to get the rest of whatever month you sign up in for free. And then you'll get the next month for free also. Just use promo code OAP for Opposites Attract Podcast.
So now, I thought, the last topic was kind of funny. We had some laughs. Now let's talk about something that's more on a serious, more heartfelt. And I want to ask you a question.
Oh, geez.
Is there anything right now that you can think of? This is hard. Okay. So my life model: to live with no regret.
Okay.
Right? To live with no regret. And how this came about was because now I have a regret.
Yeah.
And I don't want to don't want to have to go through that again. So someone that was very dear to our heart passed away last week. And I called her daughter up to talk to her and to offer any kind of help, assistance, anything, because she's trying to figure everything out, with the funeral and everything else. And, her mom passed away from coronavirus, but she also had other underlying issues. And she's here in Mesa.
Yeah,
I didn't
close
know
to
that.
us.
I didn't
Yeah.
know she was, lived here in Mesa, but the mom lived in Yuma. And so we were talking, and, I was telling her that we had plans to go visit them. Like, that's something that was on my heart. It was something that was on my mind, and it was something that was constant. And we never went. We didn't go. And then this happened.
Yeah.
And I felt horrible. Like, I still feel horrible about it. And that is something that I regret, not going to see her when we had time, because we could have made the time.
Yeah.
We could have made the time. And I'm like, this is not going to happen again. Like, it's just not going to happen again. And so living with no regret. Are there some things maybe that you have that you feel if something were to happen that you would regret? And I think that that's something that we need to think about. That's something that, and whatever it is, whatever you feel uneasy about, we need to take care of that. And I recognized in myself that when I start to feel anxious, when I start to feel, just anxious, like there's something going on. And I told you that the other day. I'm like, there's something going on. I feel very anxious, and I don't know what it is. And I feel my heart just pounding, and
it's like an imbalance.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. Where'd you get that from, buddy?
Yeah.
Look at you. What?
Yeah,
yes.
You're imbalanced.
Yes. And so when I start to feel that way, immediately, and it's not immediately, because I felt it for 2 days straight, and I'm like, what is this? What is this? And I recognized what it was, and I shared it with you.
What was it? I don't remember.
No?
You must have been yelling at me from another room.
It has to do with something that's unsettled right now that I've been trying to push you to do. And we're going to do it after the podcast.
Oh, got it.
Because I don't like lingering ends. Like, we don't know what's going to happen.
Oh, it's an email that I need to send.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to go put it down after the podcast. That's going to happen too.
Yeah, that's too.
I'm like, we did?
But
I was like, oh, the email.
Because of what we've been through with this entire process,
yeah.
I know where it can get. And we're always the one that gets screwed.
Yes.
And so I'm just like, okay, this is something that we need to, get done to give me that peace, because I just have a not so good feeling about this.
Yeah. It's just something that's out there that's unresolved.
Yes. And so I was talking to my mom today, and I was talking to her about just being more present with what's feeling, like what she's feeling and what's going on. And because a lot of times, if we give ourselves the time that we need to really think about, okay, why am I feeling this way? What's going on in my life that's making me feel this way? And sometimes it could be something that's happening right now, or something that's supposed to happen but's not happening. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you get that, if someone, and this is what I've learned, if somebody comes to your mind, right? If somebody comes to your mind and you're like, why am I thinking about that person? Now I call that person immediately.
Yeah.
And usually when I do that, that call had to be made.
Yeah.
Bella, for 3 days, I was supposed to call her. Just to offer condolences, just, but things, time. And I'm like, okay, I recognize this. Sonia, you got to do it now. Stop what you're doing, do it, and call her. And when I called her and we started talking about God and Jesus Christ and the Bible. And the message that was being downloaded to me that I shared with her, I didn't know that she needed to hear that.
Yeah.
I had no idea. And she told me, Sonia, thank you so much for calling me and talking to me, because I needed to hear what you had to say.
Yeah.
And I don't know how we ended up talking about God and Jesus, and maybe just her mom no longer is suffering. Like, she's in peace. And I just started talking to her about, what I felt God wanted me to talk to her about. And it was exactly what she needed to hear. So if you feel that little nudge, pick up the phone. If somebody's coming, if somebody's name keeps popping up, call that person. call that person, because there's something there. There's a reason why. And I call that feeling my Holy Spirit. That Holy Spirit guides me, and when things are unbalanced and I'm feeling stress or anxiety or fear, a lot of times there's something that's going on that needs to be resolved. And I will start journaling. I will start meditating, prayer, asking for guidance, asking for help. What is this? For God to bring it to light for me. And a lot of times when that happens and I start journaling after I'm praying and doing everything else, and I start journaling, the answer comes to me.
Yeah.
And then I feel whole again. But it's just not do it. So anyways, follow your Holy Spirit. Live with no regrets. Figure out is there something in your life right now that's going on that you feel, needs to be corrected, resolved, whatever. But
so talking about this situation that we recently found out about what's going on. I wanted to say something because it's been a little, like, I've been thinking about it and it's been difficult for me. And there's some things that I'm not very proud of. And it's kind of hard to talk about, especially because of, things that I've said, like I it's one of these things where you fucking say things. And this is the thing, man, for people that are out there listening, like, we're not fucking perfect. We say things, and a lot of times you guys fucking hear this shit and you didn't need us to fucking say it because you already knew it. Like, you just hear somebody else say it, and it's like when we put something out there, there's times when we know that this is the right thing, but we don't fucking follow it either. You know what I mean? Sometimes like there was yeah, exactly. Like eating, like fucking working out, but we're not, we're preaching it, but we're not fucking doing it.
I'm doing it now.
Well, yeah, you're 2 days in. So relax. Fucking
jerk
chill.
off.
Fucking chill.
You
yes,
jerk.
You're doing great. We're 2 days in.
Yes, thank you. I did it. I'm doing it. Shithead.
Oh my God. But no, what I'm saying is, like, I've also talked about maintaining relationships.
Yeah, especially those.
So hold on. I've talked about maintaining relationships, and I've talked about if people are important to you in your life, that you have to maintain those relationships. It's not a one-sided thing.
Right.
That you can't just expect them to call you all the time and you not call them, because eventually the calls are going to stop coming.
Yes.
And I've been a real piece of shit. Fucking straight up. Like, this is something that I regret. And it's one of the, so in 2006, I made some bad decisions. I got in trouble and I ended up getting kicked out of the military. Now,
because he was drinking.
Yeah, I got a DUI and I got, some underage. I liked to party when I was younger. And so I got in trouble. I ended up getting kicked out. And if you were to ask me, that was definitely it's in the top 3. If not, it could be number 1 for one of the lowest points in my life. One of the lowest points in my life. And when I got kicked out and I didn't know where to go, this family opened their doors for me.
Miguel's from New York.
I'm from New York.
He was out here because he was stationed.
I was stationed
in Luke.
At Luke Air Force Base in Arizona. And I got kicked out. So, I mean, and when you get, just think about it. When you're in the military, if you're active duty, they send you to where they need you. So I grew up in New York. I had family in Florida, and I got stationed in Arizona on the West Coast, or on the west side of the country. And I don't know anybody here. Mm-hmm. So I have nowhere to go, and I knew them, through the Legal Shield business, and they were like, yeah, come over. And I stayed with them. I stayed with them for a year, and their family is incredible. Incredible. I mean, everything about them, just their unity, the way they are together, the way they love each other, and the way they love other people, people that aren't even, it's a perfect example.
Yes.
They barely knew me and let me in.
Yes. Yes.
And for a while there, I lost touch. And it would just be kind of like the stupid relationships that you have with people online where you just like a picture or not even comment. It's just liking. It was nothing.
Yes.
And I was a real piece of shit because it got the longer it went without talking to them, it made the phone heavier for me to pick it up and call, even though it shouldn't be that way. And I fucked up. And they are people that genuinely, their family, they are great people. And they were there for me. Yes. And, you know.
And I talked to Bella about that. So Mary was the spit image of.
So, and Mary was, out of, they were all incredible, but her spirit.
Yes.
It was always happy. Always smiling.
Yes. She was love.
Yeah.
She was love. Yeah. She is the spit image of what God, why he created, what our purpose is. It states in the Bible that our purpose is to serve and to, just to love, to make a difference. And that was Mary. And
this is the thing is that I fucked up and I don't know if any of them listen, but if they do, I am super sorry.
You need to call them.
I will. I am. I'm going to.
You need to call them.
And I made a mistake, but I'm going to learn from it and I'm going to do the right thing.
And that's exactly what I shared with Bella. Like, I just apologize. And I asked her anything, like if there's anything you need. I said, you need help with the services, give us a call. And she said, Sonja, thank you so much. I have been receiving calls after calls of people that I don't even know expressing to me the love that my mom provided to them. And some of them were strangers. She said, but my mom made a difference in people's lives.
She did.
So much that they opened a GoFundMe account and within days they raised $7,000.
Nice.
That's how much this woman was loved. This is just pure love. Pure love.
You know what? I'm going to turn this into a clip and I'm going to put the link to the GoFundMe in the clip. And if any of you want to donate to that GoFundMe, it'll be in the clip to this video. I'll make sure that I make a quick clip for this and I'll put it out there.
Yeah.
But it's so hard. It's so hard, like to talk about these things. Like, it's just like I'm saying, like, nobody's fucking perfect. We go through, we talk about shit. We know what's right and we still don't do it. So be careful fucking judging people because, we've all done it.
Yeah. No,
but the thing is to get better from it.
That's right.
So I need to make it right. And you know what? The really shitty thing is that at this point now, there are certain things that I just cannot fix because we're past a certain point. You know what I mean? But all I can do now is do the best I can going forward.
Yes. Yes.
So that's what I'm going to do. It sucks.
Sorry.
But no, and this is something that I was wondering if I should even talk about it. And
I know, because you were very quiet. You were very quiet.
It's very hard. I'm ashamed of it. Fucking straight up.
No, yeah. And that's how I felt. And that's how I felt. But I know that you were closer to them than I was, but I saw what they did.
Yeah.
And how they were there and they're just
they're
absolutely incredible. Amazing.
Incredible family.
And know that the more, call them up.
I will.
Let them know your heart. Let them know your heart. I mean, when I expressed it, she's like, Sonja, I get it. And she's like, didn't your sister just pass away? And didn't you guys take on her 3 kids? She's like, you guys were busy. She's like, you guys were busy. And I'm like, yeah, but that's still no excuse.
That's not an excuse.
It's still not an excuse.
I've told the story. It's just being a hypocrite. Fucking for real. Because I've told the story about my friend on the podcast that I would call and wouldn't call me back. And I was like, well, fuck it. It's over. You know, and that's the kind of shit that I think about when I talk about on the podcast. And I'm just fucking sorry. You know?
Yeah.
It's hard. I fucked up. Yeah. So.
Oh, those are the things that, yeah, we can definitely
Learn
get better
from.
at.
Learn
And you
from.
recognize it. And that's what it's about. Just listening to that inner voice, whatever. I don't know what you guys believe in, but the Holy Spirit. Because I know that you've been nudged to call.
I have been.
You know,
it's
and
just
not
the longer that it
listening.
takes, it makes it worse. It makes it harder. And shit, the best time to call is when you get that initial feeling like, hey, I should, and just fucking do it.
Yes.
Even if it's just like, hey, I don't have a lot of time. I've done that before, which is fucking shitty now that I'm talking about this, because yeah, you do call people like, hey, just wanted to say what's up. I don't have a lot of time. I got to run. I'll call you another time when we have more time to talk. All right, later. Bye.
Right.
And that's it.
Yep. And since before this happened, though, I made the decision that I would reach out to people. And whether they call me back doesn't matter. But I want everybody to know, you know, like my dad, my sisters, my brother, my nieces, my nephew, just picking up the phone and calling them. And today I made all the calls and no one answered but my mom, but I texted them all and I said, hey, I just called you because you were on my mind, wanted to check in and see how you're doing. I love you. Call me when you can. That's it. Just, I want them to know that I love them and that I'm here for them. And that is it. And if they don't call, it's okay. Like, we all get so busy.
Yeah.
We all get so busy. We're so caught up. But I need you to know I love you and I care and you are on my heart. And make the call. So
for everybody out there, if you have that person that you've been meaning to call, that you know that you should have called, that you haven't called yet, that you haven't, just even if it's just a quick text, like, hey, I've been meaning to call you and I've been super busy. I'll call you when I get a chance.
Another
and
thing.
You've been on my mind. Something.
If there is a relationship, whether it's a best friend, a family member, that you have cut ties with because of a stupid fight or a disagreement, you know what? Life is too short. It really is. Be that person. Pick up the phone and apologize, even if it wasn't your fault. If that relationship is worth it, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's another regret that you may have down the line. Like, why did I allow my pride or my shigo, ego, whatever you want to call it, get in the way of my relationship with this person because we got into a disagreement or we got into a little fight and things got heated? So that's something else that I've learned in my 43 years is to be that person, to say I'm sorry, regardless of the situation, because you're more important to me than whether I'm right or wrong. And that's something that I've always gone by. Like, I don't hold on to grudges at all. Like, I'll be the first. I'll be the first, and that's okay.
Yeah, you've done that a lot.
Yeah.
You do that with me all the time.
It's because I love you, baby. Like, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it.
Oh, man.
But there are some people that needed to hear that. Like, just pick up the phone. Just pick up the phone. Yeah. Because you never know what tomorrow brings. You never know. I don't care how young you are. I don't care how healthy you are. You just never know.
Yeah.
So make things right. Make things right. And that's why when people ask me, do you believe in heaven? Do you believe in hell? And I'm just like, you know what? I don't know. I don't know, because what I feel is that we're living, like, we create our own heaven and hell. Like, you can live in heaven in this world, or you can make it hell. Not only that, but our thoughts create heaven or hell within our soul, our body, and it's like, do what you have to do while you're here, because I don't know 100%. And if you do, let me know whether there's a heaven or a hell. But I know that before I leave, that I want to create heaven for me. Yeah. I want to live in peace and with joy and love. And yeah, life is going to happen and there's going to be challenges and obstacles, but we are stronger than that. We are stronger than that. We will overcome and we will succeed and learn from all the lessons, mistakes, if we just slow down and tap into what does life mean to you and what's important to you. And once you realize what that is, nothing else matters.
Yeah.
It really doesn't.
There was you remember we were hanging out outside. I think we were just kind of swimming and chilling outside by the pool. And we're listening to music, and I had told you it was a song. I think it was a country song. They were talking about. I think they were talking about heaven.
Oh,
it might have been the song. It might have been the song Heaven. It might have been the song.
I
Heaven.
love that. My brother sings it so good. Junior, you're gonna have to call in and sing it for us on our podcast.
But there was at one point that I was telling you, I was like, what if this is it? Like, what if there is no heaven and there is no hell? What if this is it? Yeah. And you're so focused on trying to get into heaven, right, that you're missing out on what's happening now.
Yes.
Because you're so focused on, that's not right and this is not right and I need to get to heaven and this but it's like, dude, where we are here now, this is it. This is actually it. You know what I mean?
We don't know. I'm just saying though, like you said, live. And it's living in the moment. Like, live in the moment.
Because the truth of the matter, I mean, pandemic and all the shit that's been happening aside, like when we're hanging out, when we're looking around, like, this is pretty good.
This is good.
And it's like, what if this is it?
I'm good. Like, if this is it,
I'm good too.
I'm good. But it's not about just us being, I'm talking about internally, like being good. Like, I feel that there's more that we can do. There's more people that we can serve.
I think the point was people that are so focused and so looking forward to the next thing, to going to heaven, to not being here and being in heaven. I can't wait till I get to heaven. I can't wait till this. And it's like, well, what if there isn't a heaven? And what if this is it?
Right.
You know what I mean? And you're missing out on this because you're looking forward to that.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
See, we were going to get into a little bit of religion stuff today. But it's just difficult, at least I have you've gone through a lot of things in the past. I mean, in the time that we've been married, just with your faith and your spirituality and everything.
Yeah. It's beautiful. I'm already feeling, I'm feeling a certain energy right now. And before I started on the podcast, I prayed to God, like, give me the words that I need to share with people that, whatever it is that they're feeling, because we have a great platform to do that. But I've never been comfortable to really speak up because of our differences.
Yeah.
And your belief. But it's like, I have a platform. This is our platform.
Yeah.
And so I've been just asking God to give me the words, give me the wisdom, give me the strength to be me and to share the gift that He has given me.
How have things changed over the last few years? Or from initially, because you said in the last podcast, you were talking about how in your family, you guys didn't really go to church unless it was an event. Yeah. It was like Christmas,
I was raised
Easter, or something.
Catholic, but it was just, going to church and listening, to what they were preaching. But it wasn't, for me, it's not about just going to church. It's about living life the way God wants us to live our life. He wants us to prosper. He wants us to serve. He wants us to help. It's deeper than being religious. It's having a relationship with Him and listening and not just listening, but taking action. Like when the Holy Spirit moves me, I have to act upon it. And a lot of times I didn't know how to connect that feeling. I didn't know God yet. I didn't understand when I got that little nudge, or, someone's name popped in my head, or when God's telling me, hey, you need to go do A, B, and C. Like I didn't know. I just didn't know how to listen. I didn't know how to respond. I thought it was just me talking to me. But once I started to grow a relationship with him, meaning, I pray wherever I'm at, when I'm in the car, if I'm, in the backyard, or I'm in the room, like, my closet is my praying room. When it's super, super loud, I'll go in there and I have a pillow, and you didn't even know about this.
Yeah.
Like that's just something that I've learned, because there's times where I'm on my hands and knees and I'm crying and I'm just letting it out. Like there's something that's sitting, it's uneasy. I'm feeling a certain way and it's not me. And when I recognize that, that's when I drop down and I just start praying for guidance and for like insight, for healing. And he never fails. Like he always brings it to light, And so I think the huge thing that changed for me was getting to know God and hearing his voice.
When did that happen?
That situation that I had with my sister, feeling the Holy Spirit throughout my body. I mean,
that was like 13 years ago or something like that.
When something changed, but I was unaware.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that was. I knew that it was something amazing that's never happened to me. And hearing, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I knew that it was God or my sister, but because I didn't understand, I didn't know who it was.
Yeah.
I felt that it was my sister's spirit that came to me. And that, in that moment, I never felt so much peace, so much love, and so much joy. And after that situation, I wanted to get to know God. I was in search. I wanted that feeling again.
Yeah.
I wanted to feel that again. And that's when I started looking for a church. And then my good friend Ray Rodriguez introduced me to the Church for the Nations on Central Bethany in Arizona. And as soon as I walked into that place, I was hit with the Holy Spirit. I could feel it. Like I walked into that place and I was just crying like a baby. And I knew that this was it, that this was my home, that this is where I needed to be. Yeah. And ever since then, my relationship with God just began to grow. And it began to fester, and I started to learn more and listen more and pray more, and our relationships started to grow. And now when he talks to me, it's loud. It's very loud. It's clear to me. There's no second guessing. I was very mad at my sister when she passed. I was angry at her. Because her and I were so close. And she didn't come to me for help. I didn't know that about the drugs. I did not know because I was never around it. And I just did not know. So I was upset with her because I would always tell her that my door was always open for her. She was living in California. We were in Arizona. And I'm like, and we talked. And so I was angry at her that she didn't come to me. So when she was, when she passed, that anger was still there. Her kids brought me joy. I mean, I loved her, but I was just so disappointed. Not angry. I was disappointed.
That she didn't come to you.
That she didn't come to me and talk to me and say, hey, sister, I have a problem. I need help.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing that I would have not done for her. And I remember working out, this is when I knew how to listen to God. I knew my relationship was good. We were about to move here and I was so grateful for where we were in life. Like her kids were grown out of the house and all doing very well. None of them on drugs, none of them alcoholics. Like they're doing very well. And I was at the gym and I never felt the urge to pray in public, like never. And this day, I just had the urge to pray, and I'm on a treadmill, mind you, I'm sweating on a treadmill. And I just started praying in gratitude and thanking him for our life and for you, the kids, our family. And then I started praying to God for other people. And I started praying for my nephews, and I started praying for my niece. And all of a sudden I heard him. He told me, he said, I had to take your sister in order to give your nephews and your niece the life that they're living today. She was the ultimate sacrifice. Because if I didn't, she would have stayed with him, and the kids would be living a different life because she would have never left him. And when I heard that, I knew it was God. It was so loud. It was like a slap in the face. You know, when you get slapped in the face, there's no denying you just got slapped.
Yeah.
There was no denying that was him. I heard it loud and clear, and I was bawling like a baby on the treadmill. And I remember just rushing off that treadmill and running to the ladies' locker room. And I called my niece immediately, and she heard me. Like, it was hard for me to talk to her, but she's like, Thea, are you okay? Are you okay? And I'm like, yes, I'm fine. And I told her what happened, and she's like, Thea, that's so crazy, because I've been thinking about that a lot lately.
Yeah.
Because look at the life that she's living. Her 2 beautiful babies. She has a great career, a good husband.
Yeah. And
they're living here. So if that would have never happened, I don't know where they would have been. I don't know where their life would be today.
Yeah.
But and that day gave me such peace, because I was no longer carrying that anger. I was no longer disappointed in her, and I felt so bad that I was. But I was healed from that day.
Yeah.
And there's been many occurrence where, God has a message and he talks to me, and I share what he tells me to share. And it's just being obedient, and it's always something good. It's always, just giving someone faith, hope, and encouraging words.
Yeah.
So, and there's no denying him. Like, once you get to where there's no denying. And I know, like with you, you're like, well, why has he not come to me? Why has he not? Like, me, you tell me, if he were, if God were to come to me or show me, I would believe. But
well,
it's just not the time.
I've told you before, like,
yeah,
I'm a fucking maniac.
But
you know me.
Yeah.
And I'm a maniac. And if there is an undeniable thing, like God came down and he was like, Miguel,
but it's
you're fucking
different.
But what I'm saying is, like, you're fucking up. You know what? My life would be different, because I'd be like, holy shit. Like, they were right. And I'm done.
But think of all the things that have happened to you in your life that could have went really wrong, but they didn't.
I understand. There's a lot. I know, but we get into this every once in a while. There's also a lot of great people that have bad shit happen to them.
My sister was a good person. She was a good person. She was a great mom, no matter what. Okay. Yes. She is someone you would be like, why her? Why not him? Why her? Why her? And that was something that played in my mind for a moment, because she was that person. I mean, she throughout her life, she had a lot of very hard times. Her son,
yeah,
okay, she went through so much. He's disabled. They told her that he only had 4 years to live.
I understand.
He survived that.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of things that happened, in her life.
But what I'm saying is, he survived that. There's a lot of people that don't survive that.
Right.
And what is that? Like, God wasn't in their corner? You know what I mean?
There's a reason for everything. And a lot of it won't come to light until you pray and you ask. You ask. And that's what I was praying.
Yeah.
And he gave me the answer. It's just, it's hard to, and I'm not an expert at the Bible. I'm not. What I know is that
I got too
God
many questions.
is everywhere.
I got too many questions about everything. And, there's too much that's unanswered. There's too many things that contradict things. There's too many things that in today's society would not be cool. But because the book was written back 2000,
I'm not talking about the book.
This is the thing, is that that's the foundation. That's the basis of the religion.
The religion, yeah. But
no, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's the basis.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that I don't agree with.
Yeah.
And that is where where I start having questions. And
yes.
And the truth is, like I've told you before, the only reason that we believe in this country what we believe is because of the way the country was set up. Yeah. Because if you were born in other places in the world, you would be Hindu, you would be Muslim, you would be Jewish, you would be whatever. You just happened to you had no choice. You were born in this country. So that's what you know. But if you were born in the mountains of Afghanistan, you'd probably be Muslim. And
I would probably be Muslim, and I'd maybe have the same relationship with God that I have today.
Yeah, but it's different. And you don't know also because you weren't raised in it.
Right.
And the longer you get raised in it, the more the deeper the roots are.
I wasn't raised religious. I wasn't raised in the church. I wasn't. I got to know God. What, 2000 and what was it, 13?
Something like that.
When I started, my sister passed. No, it was before that because my sister passed in 2007. We got the kids in 2009. And so it happened in 2009 or 10 maybe, when we were going through really hard times, with the kids. And I just felt like I didn't have the energy to continue moving forward. And that's when that happened to me. And that experience gave me the energy and what I needed to continue with the kids.
Yeah. All I'm saying, the reason that I don't believe is just because, like I just said, if we were born somewhere else, we would believe something else. And there's a lot of scientific facts and stuff that point out, like according to the Bible or whatever, like the earth is a certain amount of time old. I don't know if it's 5,000 years. I don't know if it's whatever. And through science, like they can prove that the earth is way older than that. But then religious people will say, well, that's just a metaphor. For like certain things you can take as a metaphor, some things you can take as literal. And depending on how you're feeling, you can pick and choose what you want to be true or not true. Because the Bible also says that you should, like if a man sleeps with another man, that he should be stoned or something like that.
That's the Old Testament.
Maybe if it was the 40s, 50s, 60s, that might be something like people will be like, yeah, I mean, that's gross and gay people shouldn't be and this and that. But it's 2020 now. And people get to do whatever they want and sleep with whoever they want. And it doesn't make them a bad person.
Yeah. That's where all the confusion came with me.
And we've been to the Vatican.
Yeah.
We've seen some things and we've got some fucking questions. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Fucking for real. We've been to some cathedrals where you end up finding out, oh shit, Nazis used to come here.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And then you start learning like different, it's like, okay.
See, and I understand that, but then I come back to my experiences that
and that is unexplainable. Like
exactly.
I don't know.
That's why I am a firm believer. I know that there's a God.
Yeah.
All the other stuff doesn't even matter. Like once it doesn't matter. It really doesn't, because I know him. I feel him. I feel his presence, and that it's very strong. And so I don't. And it gets him so upset, frustrated, because I'm like, I don't care. I know there's a God.
No, and I get it. I understand. I understand because of you, because you do have. I don't believe in God, but you have something fucking weird. You have something fucking weird. And like every once in a while, you'll tell me about these people that you talk to and the shit that you guys get into. And I'm just like, that sounds completely fucking insane to me. That somebody would spill their guts about.
Haven't you witnessed
what I mean?
it with me though?
I don't think I have. I don't think I've been there. No.
No.
But you tell me about. I mean, you're my wife, and it's like, that's fucking crazy. Yeah, but it's not supernatural or anything. But it's something that it is a little strange that you can connect with people in that way. And there are some things that people have that are just natural abilities. And that's something that you have that's a natural ability.
And that's how Miguel explains it.
You say it's the Lord, and I say it's the so you have a natural ability to get people to tell you crazy shit, and LeBron's natural ability is to be able to, he's super athletic and plays basketball real well. Yeah. It's just
not
different abilities.
It's not getting people to tell me crazy shit. You trick
people into telling you all
stupid. Shut up. It's when God sends me, like he'll tell me, I need you to call this person, meet up with this person. I'm like, why? I don't want to meet this person. I remember it happened before. And I thought it was a business transaction that was supposed to take place. But because of who she was, I'm like, but I don't want to recruit her because I don't want to work with her. But God's like, no, I need you to go meet with her. And I'm like, really? And I'm having this conversation with him. It's back and forth. And I'm like, okay, I will. And then I pick up the phone and meet with her. And then he gives me a message to give to her.
That was that lady. That was fucking weird.
And she is bawling. I don't know her. I don't know anything about her.
Okay, we got to get out of here. Tell the story real quick from the beginning. This is a lady who she's also not religious, right?
Well, no, not right now.
Tell the story because it was weird.
So she was born Jehovah's Witness. Now, I found all this out when I met with her, okay? Because we scheduled an appointment to meet. She wanted to work with me in Legal Shield. So, but I won't recruit someone if I don't feel that I can work with them, okay? And so, but God was like, I need you to meet her. So I went and I sat with her. She had this beautiful little girl who's 2 years old. And this woman reminded me a lot of me because she was very cheery, very outgoing, just very, just friendly.
Yeah.
And, she had a good spirit. I felt, good, but I felt very sad at the same time when I met with her. Like I was feeling that there was something going on with her. And so while I'm sitting here, she's talking and laughing and I hear God tell me to tell her, that he knows that she's dying inside. Like, I hear you. I understand what you're going through. And I know that kind of deal. It's been a while. Okay. And I'm thinking to God, she's going to like for reals. Like, I don't even know her. I don't understand where this is going, and and so I'm like, okay, like again. And so I told her, I said, listen, I don't know where your faith is. I said, I don't know what you believe, but God is telling me to tell you that he hears you and he feels you and that he can see that you're struggling, that you're going through a really tough time. And she looks at me and she's like, you guys need to watch this YouTube. She's like, God told you to tell me this. And I look at her and I said, yes. And all of a sudden, we're in Starbucks. She starts crying where she's kind of shaking. And I said, would you like to go outside? And she said, yes. This woman was very happy. I wasn't expecting that.
This may not be the story that I was thinking of.
So I take her outside to Starbucks and we start talking. And she tells me, just so you know, she's like, I haven't believed in God for a long time.
This is the story that
she said, I was born Jehovah's Witness. And my father is a minister. And I had to be that perfect little girl in church. And everything had to be perfect. On the outside, our family, everything looked perfect. Everything looked great. Yeah. She's like, but it wasn't that way indoors.
It was a front.
And she said,
they were fronting.
I ended up marrying this man. And he's just very abusive. And he was about to kill me. And I reached out to my parents for help. And they basically told me that if I leave him, that they're going to disown me because of our faith and their belief. And she's like, I wasn't willing to give my life up for this man. I left him. My daughter and I, we left. And now my family wants nothing to do with me. So when you're talking to me about God and God told you to tell me this, she's like, she's like, I just got very choked up because I once believed and I lost it. And she's just started sharing just everything with me. I was with her for like 3 hours. Dude,
and this was the first time that you met with this lady.
The first time I met with her.
That's what I'm talking about. Like some of the stuff, like to me, I'm just like, that sounds insane. You know? But the thing is that it happens to you.
Yeah. And so after we sat down, I felt the healing.
Yeah.
I felt her. She was not 100% healed, but she needed to share with something with someone, and she needed to hear that God was still with her, regardless of her leaving her husband. So it's not that she didn't believe in God. She stopped going to church. Like she's like, I'm no longer Jehovah. She's like, but with this whole thing, because, she's like, I still believe, but I just didn't, she was confused.
Yeah.
And so me telling her, giving her that message, she's like, I thought that God, along with my parents, disowned me because I left my husband. So for you to tell me that God is still here, made all the difference. And she still called me like later afterwards. She would still call me and text me and telling me, thank you so much for meeting with me. And I never recruited her, by the way. But that wasn't a business appointment. God wanted me to give her a message. It wasn't about making money. It wasn't about bringing her on board. And now, and these happen. It happens often. Like it happens
often enough to make it weird.
Not for me.
Not for you, but for me, I'm like, huh? Another one? It happened again?
Yeah.
But it's time to get out of here. But before we do, just the fact like that you believe what you believe. And I pretty much believe the complete opposite, right? Mm-hmm. And the thing is that you know what I think, and what you believe. I have some questions for you, but to me, it's like, hey, man, like, who am I to tell you what to think? I may have some questions and ask some questions that make you think about some things a little bit. But at the end of the day, what you believe is what you believe. And we're together. We're happy. I believe what I believe, and we're still together. And that's a lot of what's missing today with everything. With all the shit that's happening in the country, there is no middle. It's like, if you don't believe this, then fuck you. And if you don't believe this, then fuck you. And we're two separate teams. And you know what, man? There's a lot of shit in the middle.
Yeah.
There is a lot in the middle. And that's where people need to, that's where we settle the differences. Shit is not black and white.
Mm-mm.
It's just not.
No. Yeah.
I
believe God brought us together. Like think about it.
Yeah.
I feel that you're the one that he wants me to be with. I mean, when I look back at everything, I see him. I see him in the mix throughout the entire time. And even when we have challenges, and this was a big one. Like our differences in spirituality and our belief was a big one, and it was difficult. And it sometimes still is difficult. I think this is the first time where I feel comfortable actually talking about God and sharing the message that I'm sharing with you sitting next to me and not feeling nervous and stumbling on my words, because a lot of times it's hard for me to connect to the Holy Spirit or connect to that part of me when you're sitting next to me, because I know how you feel. And I feel at times that you judge me, or you used to make fun of me. But now it's bigger than that.
I've never made fun of you for that. And I've never judged you for that. And that's the thing, is that if you tell me something and I say, wow, that's fucking crazy, I'm not saying that you're fucking crazy. It's just, to me, it's crazy that you're going to meet a person and they're going to tell you about their abusive husband and their parents disowning them. That's fucking crazy to me. But I'm not saying that you're crazy. It's like, wow, that happened to you. Mm-hmm. I've never put you down for what you believe. I've had questions, but I don't put you down for it.
Yeah.
You know, and the truth is, like, you tell me things and I'm like, wow, like that's I don't even know what to say. And at the same time, I'll bring stuff to you and I'm like, check this shit out. And you're like, holy fuck, that's crazy.
I don't say holy fuck.
Or I mean, but that's what you're thinking. That's what you're thinking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you'll see, like I'll show you something or you'll see something, you're like, that's insane.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just, it is what it is, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, this podcast has run a little long, so the next one might be a little shorter. We'll see. But anyway, thank you guys for being with us. I want to give a shout out to Isabel Ortiz.
We love you, Isabel.
For following us on Facebook. Welcome to the podcast.
Yes.
Welcome to any of the new listeners that we have out there. And thank you for following us. Thank you for everybody that's listening around the world and around the country. Make sure you go to oppositesattractpodcast.com so that you can follow the show. You can subscribe there. You can watch the videos. You can click on the support the show tab to buy things on Amazon and help out the show. You can also see Trust Inc. You can go to Libsyn and use promo code OAP so that you can get your free trial to get your podcast started. Thank you for being with us.
Yes.
And we will talk to you guys next week.
Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.